Hello guys, once again welcome back to Commerce class. As we are discussing about loans from commercial banks. Previous class we discussed only meaning of loans from commercial banks. Today we are going to discuss about advantages and disadvantages of loans from commercial banks. So let us learn about advantages of commercial banks. First one, rising funds from commercial banks are available for the special period, which means commercial banks are one of the source to the company in order to raise funds. Why? Because banks are providing loans for the development of business. Second, rising loans from commercial banks provide the benefits of trading on equity, which means when commercial banks provide loans for the development of business, definitely it helps a lot in order to operate trade activities. Third, relationship with a reputed bank is beneficial for the borrower. Why? Because when company has good relationship with banks, it is easy to get loans from the bank. Fourth, repayment can be made out of the future earnings. That means when company borrow the money from the banks, definitely it should pay back to the banks again. The repayment can be possible only when company has sufficient earnings. Even banks also allow the company to repay out of their future earnings. That means when company starts earning in future, by the time company can clear their borrowed amount to the banks. Fifth, interest paid on bank loan is deductible for determining taxable profits. Generally, when company gets profit or income, there is a tax deduction on it. Suppose company is paying interest on loan or any debt instrument, definitely the amount will be deducted from the tax deduction. So when company tax deduction is reduced, obviously it is an advantage to the company. Next, disadvantages of loans from the commercial banks. First one, assets may have to be mortgaged for rising bank loans. Means when company takes loans from the commercial banks, banks cannot provide loans without any surety. So company must keep any assets as a security or surety, then only banks provide loan. Suppose if company is not able to repay their loan amount and interest, eventually banks will take over the assets. Then company will lose their ownership rights on assets. Second disadvantage, several times consuming formalities are involved in raising loans from the commercial banks. That means when banks provide loan to the company, there are some formalities and procedures need to be clear, and also it is a time taking process. Banks will not give immediately loan to the companies. So after clearing all checkup and verification, then only banks will provide loan to the company. That's why it is a disadvantage. Third, interest on bank loans has to be paid irrespective of profits. That means whether company gets profit or not, but interest has to be paid on time. That's why taking loans from commercial bank is a disadvantage. Fourth, credit rising capacity after a bank loan. That means once if company takes loan from the commercial banks, definitely it indicates company standards. So when company has debt instruments, investors may not show interest to invest, and it may reduce company standards. That's why taking loans from commercial banks is a disadvantage to the company. These are the advantages and disadvantages of loans from commercial banks. Next, we can discuss about loans from financial institutions. Thank you.